Hey folks, I'm Rich Ferrari. Welcome. Today I want to talk about how I train with my firearm. This is specific to me. It may work for you, it may not. You may take bits, pieces of it. You may walk away without anything, but I figure at least share it with you. This by no means is any kind of, super duper fantastic training video. There's other guys out there that know way more than I do, and they already have videos out there that are very, very good. Not to mention, training in live with a certified instructor is always a great idea too. But yeah, I figured I'd share my thoughts with you. This tip actually came from my father-in-law, who we were at the range one day and I noticed he was training one-handed, and I asked him why, and he said, well, odds are if I ever have to reach for my firearm to defend myself or somebody else, it's going to be one-handed. It's going to be spur of the moment. You're going to have to act quickly. You're not going to think about getting your feet planted, getting both hands properly situated on the firearm, breathing properly, and so forth. Now, maybe you will, maybe you won't. Sure, it's all a matter of muscle memory, and if you do something enough, yes, then it simply becomes like second nature. That's why people in the military train a certain way, or police officers, or so on and so forth. Somebody like me, I don't train nearly as much as they do. So odds are for me, it's going to be spur of the moment. So that's what I do. So when I go to the range, it's one-handed. I might go two-handed sometimes. But so anyways, this firearm's unloaded. I already cleared this. And this is a Smith & Wesson. This is a 380 Shield Easy M&P Smith & Wesson. I like it. 380 is a good caliber. For me, less recoil. Easier to maintain control of the firearm, and so on and so forth. And 380 is probably about the lowest I would go as far as a defensive caliber. Anyways, so how do I train? Well, when I go to let's say I set my target up for around 15 feet, 5 yards, something like that. Then I don't spur of the moment do it. I might just casually place my feet there on the ground in a certain way, trying to get myself relaxed. But then ultimately it's just setting my sights, and then that one finger, and that's it, and see how I get it. Do I have too much trigger finger, too little trigger finger? That usually seems to be my issue. My dominant eye is my right eye. So that's really it for me. But one of the things I like to do too with practicing is, I found this thing online that I found really helpful. Now, I'm not going to name the company or anything like that, but this is it. It's this little plastic device that basically just has this sensor here, this laser sensor. You flip it on and off, and it's got a counter on it, all right? And then what you do is it comes with this, if I can get it out. Well, it's already in here, but basically it's like the size of a whatever caliber bullet you might have, that goes inside the barrel ever so slightly. And what happens is, when that striker, in this case, hits the end of it, it shoots out a laser. So for example, if I go like this, well, maybe I didn't hit it. Let's see it. All right, and you hear it. So, because a lot of us might think you have to go to the range, but you don't. There's no reason to have to go to the range. You could be sitting in your chair there, relaxing, watching TV, and you have this thing up mounted somewhere, and you're just sitting in the chair, and just being one by one, you're dry firing. And I've seen a lot of guys, the professionals online, saying dry firing is a great way to help, get your muscles trained for that last minute, when you're following through, and all of a sudden the firearm jerks a little bit because of your muscles in your hand. Great way to just practice, just sit around at the TV, just you're casually watching it on your couch, your recliner, or let's say you're in your shop and you're doing some repairs, and you're waiting for something to happen with your, something to finish or something, and bam, dry fire, bam, dry fire, bam. And that's it. You do that enough times, you'll develop muscle memory. So that's something that I've been doing a lot lately. And this device, I think I paid maybe around $150 for 2 different laser targets and 2 different size calibers, the .380 and the 9mm. I thought it was a pretty good investment, because think about all the money it'll save you from going to the range. You know, you're not shooting live rounds, so you're going to save a lot of money on ammo, and you'll save money on gas for going to and from the range. I don't know about you, but where I live in North Carolina, it's quite hot. And the indoor ranges, they don't have air conditioning where you actually shoot. So, you know, you're still sweating and so on and so forth. And I don't really care to shoot outside in, you know, 95-degree humid heat. So why leave the house if you don't have to? And, you know, why not just use this thing and, you know, have some fun doing it. Plus, it has a scorekeeper. I mean, you could put 2 of these things up, and you and a buddy could, you know, take turns and see who gets the higher count, and, you know, whoever loses has to buy the other one dinner or something like that. Great way to train. So anyways, that's the way I do it. Again, one-handed. I mean, I do two-handed, but one-handed for practicing what might happen in real life, and then getting acquainted with that. And then, you know, obviously if you can nail a bullseye one-handed, you should be just as good, if not better, with 2 hands. Anyways, this is just my opinion, okay? If you have another way you do it and it works for you, then keep doing it. I'm in no way, shape, or form claiming this method is something brand new or something that everybody should do, or so on and so forth. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to give a little help out there to other people who might, you know, not have thought of this. Anyways, if you have any questions, comments, leave a message below, and I'll certainly get back to you. I'll join you next time, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care.